Hi, I'm Deanna Gibson, and this is my lifeguard story. I'd like to go back all the way back to when I was one, and my mom and dad separated when I was a baby, and from that time on, my dad had been married several times, and so I didn't have a very stable, regular kind of home life. So when he did marry his third wife, we started attending church regularly, and it was a Baptist church, and before that we'd always attended a Catholic church. This was a very new experience for me, and after probably 6 months of going to this church every Sunday, and I made friends with the pastor's daughter, Angela, and we were best friends, and she led me to the Lord just really through friendship. And one day during service, I decided, when they did the altar call, I went up and prayed the prayer and was baptized. And then after, I guess it was about a year of going to church every Sunday, my family just kind of had the picture perfect outlook, I guess. If anyone looking in, it looked pretty perfect. And we went to church, and then very active in it. And then my dad told us that they were getting divorced. Well, at that time, I was 13, and that kind of rocked my world, because I felt, we were in church, we had a great, seemed like we had a very great normal family life at that point. And then after that, we just kind of didn't go to church anymore, didn't talk about God, just really wasn't part of our life anymore. And I think I felt really angry and very distant from God for many, many years, and really was searching for a relationship, to feel loved, to feel wanted, just kind of felt really almost abandoned. And then as I got older, we still, and this was many years, probably 6 years, I may have gone to church once a month maybe. Didn't have a relationship with God whatsoever. I'm sure I prayed when things felt tough for me, and so I would, then, God, I needed you, but then I just didn't feel like he was there. So then when I was in high school, I went to live with my mother, who I've never had a relationship with, and thought maybe that's what I needed in my life. I needed to be with my mother. That didn't work out, and I made decisions to stay here in North Carolina. My mom moved away because I wanted to finish school, because I had been at the high school then for 2 years, and I really wanted to finish there. And so lived with friends, and of course didn't really have much supervision in the way of parental supervision or guidance, and became pregnant at an early age, 18, got married, and really quickly realized that that was not the path that I should have been on. And then at that point, I went to church for a while, still just felt very distant, just kind of going through the motions and things. And then Morgan was, I believe, 3 when I met my husband, Brian, and we didn't go to church much as a family very early on in our marriage. As the kids got older, I started taking them to church more. God was still never really a big part of my life. We had moved to Sanford, and still I think I just really wanted to be a good role model for my kids. I wanted to have the kind of relationship with my husband that I would see others having. I think I wanted that Christian lifestyle because it always looked so appealing. And so normal, but I really didn't know to go about doing that. I thought if I went to church, then that would make me Christian. That would somehow give me that life or give me that relationship that I was just searching for. And it didn't. I still felt very empty inside, very just longing for something else. And I just wanted to do what was right, I guess. I always really worried about appearances, how we looked from the outside, and that was very important to me. And realized that was just a very fake life, a very shallow life. And then have a really great friend. You might know him, Jay Jackson. And I knew him before he came to Stanley Chapel, and we had lots of fun. We were great friends. And then when I saw how Jay's life was turning around, I saw not so much turning around, I just saw a different kind of person that he was becoming. And I really I was just very curious about, what it was that he had that I felt like I was missing so much. And even though I had prayed the sinner's prayer, the prayer of salvation, and I felt like if I had died, then of course I would go to heaven. That's what I thought, and I thought really that was all there was to it. But then I started asking. I would ask Jay and Janet, of course. I would ask them a little bit, start asking questions about where they went to church, and so one day I just decided that we were going to come to Stanley Chapel and just check it out. Well, after the first service, I really realized what was missing in my life, and it wasn't that sinner's prayer that I had prayed. It wasn't that I wasn't a Christian. It was that I was not living my life as an example. I wasn't living as Christ would want me to. I would go to church, I would volunteer, I would do all those things, and I'm sure from the outside I looked like I had everything, had the perfect family, the perfect husband. Life was really great, but it really wasn't. And not until probably 3 years ago, did I realize that all the time that I was longing for true love, for when my mother abandoned me, pretty much, and we lived kind of scattered at my grandparents with my dad. Had 5 stepmothers. I just really wanted to feel loved and just for me, and wanted and accepted, and thought that I would be getting all that just by going to church, and realized when I came to Stanley Chapel, and it was just through the messages that I heard, that to only really feel true love in God's true love, I had to have a relationship with Him. And it wasn't just a relationship by saying I believe in God, or telling people about it. It was more a personal decision to live for Christ, to live for Him in everything that I did, whether it was going to the grocery store or volunteering somewhere. It needed to be in every aspect of my life, just saturated with God. And once I made the decision that to do that, that's when I truly felt that I was a Christian, that I was redeemed for all my sins, bad decisions. It didn't matter if my mom didn't want me, and it didn't matter if I had been married once before, if I made bad decisions. No matter what I did, He was my lifesaver. He was just waiting for me to accept him. He'd always accepted me. I am Deanna Gibson, and I want to thank Jesus Christ for being my lifesaver.